This is possibly the most terrifying story I've ever read. I mean it. Let me give you the gist. In Los Angeles, they're arresting young boys and then forcefully administering estrogen to undergo some kind of experimental behavioral treatment.
Yeah.
That they claim is to treat some kind of like delinquency or criminality. But there's a family now suing, saying that a 16-year-old was forcefully given estrogen.
Yep.
Forcefully. They told him he had no choice.
And not only that, the parents had no idea.
No one knew.
They didn't find out till like a year or two later.
No, it was a month later, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the
lawsuit is now.
I've read into multiple different. It's not just this.
It's happened other places.
Oh yeah, it's been going on. This is not new.
So this is some kind of weird experimental forced gender transition on young boys.
Yeah, some sort of like perverted eugenic system. It's messed up. Go ahead, get into it.
Boy, 16, was given estrogen for behavioral disorder while in LA juvenile hall, suit alleges. I don't think that's a fair headline because the suit is alleging that the treatment given to him had nothing to do with this disorder. They're saying it was medical battery. The headline should actually read, boy 16 was forcefully administered estrogen against his will without his family's knowledge.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
They say, this opening line, dude, a 16-year-old boy being held at a Los Angeles County Juvenile Hall developed enlarged breasts after he was prescribed estrogen to treat a behavioral disorder, a move that baffled doctors who said the treatment defied medical logic, according to a lawsuit filed last month. And that says to me, that is a lie.
Yep.
They're experimenting on these kids.
Yep, exactly.
It's an experiment. You know what I think it was? I think technically you can argue it was for this behavioral disorder.
Mm-hmm.
I think these doctors, in my opinion, are thinking, hey, if testosterone makes young men aggressive, perhaps giving them estrogen will make them no longer commit crimes, right?
Them taking it upon themselves to make that decision scares me.
Well, that's called human experimentation.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
What's crazy is we can see it. You read this story. The LA Times has confirmed medical records. This kid was being given estrogen.
Yep.
It's LA Times says it's a fact.
And fellow doctors are going, this is not, it says right here, down here, it says estrogen is not a treatment for ODD. I cannot be more emphatic about that. Miko said, you won't find a reference anywhere that supports the use of estrogen for ODD. So they're
lying.
It's not proven. It's not a thing. They're making it up. They're just
this
going,
is,
maybe it'll work.
But I'll tell you,
let's just do it.
This is called, what is it called? ODD. What does it stand for? What is it called?
I don't remember.
It's a
Sorry.
behavioral condition by patients. They don't give me the full. It's defiant disorder or something like that. I don't think I've
I forget what the O stands for. I'm sorry.
Oppositional defiant
there
disorder.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Think about what that means. Oppositional defiant disorder. What, you're a young kid who won't sit down and shut up? They say that the treatment is therapy, family therapy.
It sounds like they just need a strong father figure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of that South Park joke we talked about before, where the teacher is like, I'm going to do a non-medical treatment for ADD.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, notice the child is unfocused and won't pay attention. Watch as I administer the treatment. And then he smacks the kid. Sit down and shut up. And the kid just stops and he goes, now you can see the child is focused and doing his homework. Let's try the next child. That's basically what it is. Okay.
Right.
So look at this. The lawsuit described the treatment as experimental. The doctor who prescribed the estrogen, Danny Wang, could not be reached for comment. They say that they say that they've checked the medical records. That's legit, man.
Yeah,
Wang prescribed a daily regimen of 2 milligrams of estrogen to be taken in pill form, according to medical records. The boy's parents were not aware that he had been diagnosed with ODD or was undergoing treatment until late July 2019. Doctors said the treatments should not have been carried out without the parents' consent.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. You know
what should not be carried out, period.
Yeah.
And then also without the parents' consent.
You know what one of the side effects of high estrogen in men is?
What?
Infertility.
Yep.
Yeah, so they just ruined his life.
Potentially.
But
yeah.
was 13 doses enough to make him infertile?
I don't know. I hope not. I mean, it made him develop, breast tissue.
Yep.
So
Moves.
maybe so.
The lawsuit says that it doesn't say directly they're doing this to other kids, but it basically says the plaintiffs allege that that young males are being prescribed estrogen in this facility.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine this? I'm going to say it. I'm going to go ham on this one. Every single person, every single time I mention, you got to speak up and stand up against the craziness, the insanity.
Yeah.
but I have kids. Okay.
All right.
Well, give me a call when your kid's been forcefully administered estrogen.
Yep.
There was one post where I'm not entirely sure. I read that the first treatment was an injection, and then after that they gave him pills. But I don't know if that's actually. I don't think that's in the LA Times story. It may have been in the lawsuit.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what spawned me down this spiral of learning about this today. Is when you tweeted it out about the injection, and I was just like, what did I just read?
So they were giving the kid a bunch of vaccines too. So they gave him like 3 different injections.
What are they doing in this place? What kind of a juvenile hall is this place? It blows me away that, I mean,
low income.
Yeah, we talked about California being on like the forefront of like cutting edge stuff, and
They're
it's
ahead
like
of things, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and roll that back because they're definitely going back in time. When was the last time people were experimenting on human?
Forced lobotomies.
Forced
40s.
Yeah,
electroshock therapy.
Yeah. Well, we got rid of that. I guess we didn't.
We stopped
Human
I guess we didn't.
experimentation.
Yeah, I guess the 50s.
It's still prevalent. Look at this. It's happening
Well,
right now.
Let's be careful. Prevalent. It's happening.
Okay, it's happening.
Yeah. So I'm very careful because I recorded something on this earlier. Like we have this lawsuit, this one facility, these doctors.
Yeah.
It may be just this facility.
Oh,
I hope so.
I hope that's the case.
Exactly. So I don't want to get ahead of myself and act like it's everywhere. It's happening here, and that's enough, I think, to make sure we're being vigilant, calling this out to prevent it from happening in the future.
Absolutely.
Because what you got to understand is that if you take a young person who is not dysphoric and forcefully administer a reassignment therapy or treatment, you're going to make them dysphoric.
Yeah, absolutely.
This kid became depressed, has to get surgery now. That's what they say. The kid requires.
Surgery.
Yeah, let me see if I can look at this. Probation officials and the teen's attorney, Wesley Ouchie, declined to say why he was in custody. They say Ouchie said the boy, now 17, was released in April and will require surgery to treat the physical issues he developed as a result of the estrogen treatment.
It's messed up.
That's crazy, man. This is some of the craziest stuff I've ever heard.
Yeah, me too.
And we could get banned for even talking about it.
Someone in the chat just said that explains Antifa.
What, forcefully administering?
It's just
Too much estrogen.
It was a good comment.
Just as an aside.
Man. So the treatments only stopped because this kid was being bullied. He got acne all over his body and started growing breasts.
Yeah.
And the other kids started making fun of him. And so he started refusing. The reason he didn't refuse in the first place was because he was basically told that if he gets any markups in juvie, they'll hold him until he's 18, 23, or 26.
Wow.
And he's 16. So they were like, you want to spend the next several years here? Resist.
That sounds forced to me.
Oh, yeah. According to the lawsuit, the kid said the nurse told him he had to get medication, and he initially refused, saying, I wasn't told I was going to get any medication. And she said, it's for a node in your chest that needs to be treated.
What?
And then he said, I don't want it. She said, you can't refuse. It has to be done. And the security guard there said, you can't refuse. You have to do it.
Whoa.
He said he was scared that if he resisted, they'd write him up, and then he'd be in juvie for the next several years. So he just let him do it. Then he started taking the treatment because he had no choice, and only resisted after 13 doses, and people started attacking him, making fun of him.
Man, when I hear about people messing with kids, man, it pisses me off. I want to say a lot more than we can right now on this live show.
Yeah.
They're going after kids, man.
I can't stand it. And
remember when Mario Lopez said a 3-year-old can't? What exactly did he say about a 3-year-old?
He said that a 3-year-old shouldn't be transitioning.
No. He said
was
something like
like,
a 3-year-old doesn't know if they're trans or something.
Yeah, he was basically spitting facts, and
He was forced to
had a
apologize for
problem
that.
with it.
I'll be. Look, I can say this. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think Mario Lopez had to apologize for that. That's insane. That's the level of crazy things are getting with this kind of intersectionalism. Now you've got in the federal government, time racist. That one of the things released by the Army was that using housing taxes to pay for public schools is white supremacy. That's just, I tell you this, man. As we talk a lot about China, and we're gonna segue over to that in just a second. It really does feel like the bonds that make a civilization function are being torn apart in the United States,
Right.
and in many parts of Europe,
and being labeled white.
right?
It's a white
Like specifically time and hard work.
Or the nuclear family, just having solid parents,
Yeah.
working hard, being respectful. Like, how does that make any sense?
So you said that pamphlet was from the 90s?
From 1990.
So
Yes.
here's the context. There's a pamphlet we read the other day where it's like listing all of the things about whiteness. Some of it included working hard to succeed, time, adhering to schedules.
Right.
What was some other stuff that's...
Being religious, working before play.
Oh, you're saving up for the future.
Looking into the future, preparing for the future.
Yep, was whiteness. And listen, they talk about abolishing this stuff. So this was going viral. It was at was it the African American?
It was posted in the National African American History Museum, the official Smithsonian website.
Yeah.
And someone actually, and I posted this on Facebook. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, look what's going on. And someone wrote one of the same people. They're all the same.
Yeah.
You know, went on there and said, "Wow, Adam, you're really going into some fringe things and posting fringe stuff and really acting like it's mainstream media." I'm like, this is from the Smithsonian National History Museum.
The museum.
Yeah, like how are you going to convince me that that's fringe? This is what, did you read it, dude?
Yep.
Read it and try to convince me that this isn't crazy. No,
It's not fringe.
They blow right past it and go, how dare you post this fringe stuff? And I'm like, this is what they're teaching people. What are you talking about?
Welcome to the real resistance. How long will they allow us to exist on their airwaves?
Get this though. Someone else posted, well, they're right.
What?
That's it. Period.
Yep.
I'm like, did you just you think time is white? You're telling me
Time.
being polite.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Is
Being
white.
polite.
Being polite is white. Really? So all those times that you were polite, he was very. I only have good memories of all these people. Honestly, whenever I've interacted them with in life. So every time they were nice to me,
Now you know.
they were being white.
Hey, look, man, I'll tell you what. There's some light at the end of the tunnel, I guess.
What's that?
When everything falls apart, the people who retain schedules, hard work,
Good point.
family structures,
Yes,
they're going to be all right.
you're absolutely right.
These are not, these are not things that are white culture. These are things that successful cultures in general use. Notably, I don't know, the Chinese, the Japanese.
Yep.
Literally every single country. I'm sorry, all of them.
Humans.
Right.
Human civilization has lasted this
Which-
long because of those
Wait.
that list right there.
Who created agrarian agriculture?
Oh gosh.
Where was that? Was
Some
that
really
like
old
Egypt?
culture.
I'm not sure.
Ancient, Middle Eastern.
They grew crops. But
And
yeah,
guess-
actually
and you know
that
what
does
that
make
means?
sense because we were hunter-gatherers, and then once we started farming, we were able to start sitting in one spot.
You know,
And that was in Egypt,
But-
in one of the areas.
But the funniest thing is, let's say we go all the way
They
back.
weren't white.
No. Let's go all the way back in time, all the way back in time to
Okay.
very, very early man, whatever.
Sure.
And hunter-gatherers.
Yeah,
Okay. Did the hunter-gatherers have a concept of seasons?
probably.
For sure.
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
gathering.
Of course.
Depending on where they were on the planet.
Yeah, different
They're-
fruits grew in different
but-
seasons.
And so, depending on where you are on the planet, in like tropical areas, you have the rainy season and the dry season.
Mm-hmm.
If you move for more temperate climates, you have the 4 seasons.
And the moon schedules.
Exactly.
Being able to hunt at night. That's
Tracking
why
the
it was.
stars,
It wasn't
astrology.
weeks before. It was fortnights because those were between the moon schedules.
Right.
And that was important. And that was, you guessed it, time management.
When you woke up, when the sun came up,
Yeah.
that is adhering to a schedule.
Yep.
What are you arguing that because we've quantified units of time,
Right.
That's white culture?
Saying time
colonial.
is a
Yeah, it's
commodity.
colonial.
Your life
but
is based on time. That is not an argument.
This stuff is
Everyone's.
It's really triggering to me.
Yeah. I mean, we went over it yesterday.
sure.
So you can go check out the video. We're
Right.
We're
Yeah,
kind
we're
of
just
getting
kinda
sidetracked here.
Well, no, that was the gist of it. Like, we're seeing all this weird critical intersectionalist theory infecting everything.
Right.
And I wonder if it leads to this point where they're like experimenting on kids. That's the gist of it.
They actually are. You're absolutely right.
But-
Which I mean,
For all
how
we-
are people not freaking out about this?
How is this not the biggest story in the country right now?
Right.
That's crazy.
And not only that, it's like,
Because Trump.
well, what else is going on right now? Who big profile person just got arrested? A specific girlfriend of another person who got arrested, who
Oh, yeah.
killed themselves in
Yes.
jail.
Sad.
It's like, what are they trying to hide? Why are people scrubbing their Instagram accounts, their Twitter accounts? Why is all this happening?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're trying to hide stuff because they're messing with kids. And well, guess what? Most people can't stand it when you mess with kids. I'm talking about myself especially. You mess with kids, you're messing with the wrong, like you messed
Everybody
up.
agrees.
Everybody.
And that's
everyone
why-
I know anyway.
That's why everybody wants to see justice in these particular cases.
And that's another reason why
Well,
I like Trump. He's pushing it. He's pushing against these people.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.